And welcome back to ESL Pro League. We are slotted in for some more fantastic action here on this wondrous wisdom show. Live, of course, from the Intel Esports Arena. Joined by Mr. Esports himself, Benjamin S.E. O'Dowdy.
How's it going?
Not too bad. How you doing?
Doing good, doing good. Looking forward to this next match, actually.
Yeah.
Funnily enough.
Should be an interesting one. Obviously, our second game, Ben, a little bit spicy when it comes down to it. A go. In terms of the matchup, I think it's a little bit more clean cut. But in terms of the storyline going into this one, it's very interesting because obviously, A Go were currently in their third map between Sprout and the IEM Chicago qualifier.
Yeah, poor, scheduling, I suppose, is one way of looking at it. Potentially not thinking about where, if this were to go 3 maps, we would then, be in the way of another map. But I mean, it goes both ways, right? So Sprout have got a game at 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock as well. So both teams probably need a new manager, if I'm honest with you. Yeah, considering they've had to delay that one.
It's not gone well. The scheduling is not fantastic.
Not great, not great.
And that's the fact. If this actually does drag on a little bit here with their games in Pro League as well, considering the fact both of them are playing 2 games separately, they're playing that final map of a best of 3 after playing the first 2 maps.
It's essentially 3 best of 1s.
PM. Yeah,
it's essentially 3 best of 1s. But you just forget that the best of 3 existed.
Yeah.
It's like, that might as well be a best of 1. Let's go through it. Feel bad for Sprout, though. I mean, they just won that second map. So,
it's a little bit of a rough one for them.
Yeah, bit of a weird one, but I suppose we can forget about that. Not our problem at the end of the day.
No.
AGO are here to play Windigo. So, head-to-head, these 2 organisations, let's say, have played each other 18 times. AGO winning 12 of the 18 matchups, and it has actually gone to overtime 3 times as well, which is quite high for 18 matchups. So every 6 games it goes to OT.
Yeah.
Which in Pro League, as you mentioned a few times, not a good thing. Unless you are the team to make that comeback, not a good thing.
Yeah, that's very true. Obviously, you do get the reduced points if you win in overtime, which is a major point to actually come back to bite you later on as the season develops. In terms of this matchup as well, when you look at it on paper, we expect to go to be a little bit more favoured versus Windigo. Yeah. Windigo are a very unknown quantity in terms of them facing off against now these top teams consistently inside a Pro League. This is going to be them stretched to their absolute most, I'd say. This is really going to be a true test of how well they can perform. Yeah,
I mean, they are a newly promoted side as well, Windigo. Like, they came from MDL. They beat out Envious to get here. And if I'm honest, they're not really a side you would typically put in Pro League. No. Right? They're not LDLC, they're not like that sort of Verse Pro Envious, that sort of lineup, are they? But they have made it here. So AGO, probably a good matchup to have right at the start of the season, if I'm honest. AGO, they struggled last season, they went to relegation, they came back. If they were to pick up 3, maybe 6 points here, you're thinking, fantastic, that's a team that will probably be at the bottom half of the table. We've just managed to take all 6 points off them. Yeah. That's great. Especially now, though, that they're probably thinking, our manager's just messed up. We were in the middle of best of 3. Now we have to think about best of 1, and then another best of 1, then another best of 1. It's like, it's a mess. Windigo are probably thinking this is probably a good situation to be in. We might be able to take advantage.
That's the thing. It's great for them because obviously they're already going to be tired coming off the back of the game they've already played. That's 2 maps done. They've just lost the previous map they played to Sprout, so that's going to be a bit of a mental strain on them as well. And they've now got to dive straight into playing 2 maps versus Windigo, which for Windigo is great. Obviously they're going to be pretty happy about that because it's going to be a lot easier for them. That mental strain's already on them. They've had no time really to rest. They've gone straight out of that second map and now come into an entirely different series.
Yeah, so I've got an interesting one regarding maps. So obviously we know the maps detail this Vita process works. So first map will be Mirage, right? So these 2 teams have never played Mirage against each other. And Mirage has only gone through once in the Vita, ever in this matchup. And that was back at Season 7 relegations, which AGO won the matchup 2-0, which meant it never went to Mirage. Yeah. But it was allowed through, but it was the last little strain, that was the last choice. The fact it's not been allowed through kind of tells me neither side is really, favouring this match. Yeah. Neither team is like, Mirage is one of the better maps. But looking at win rates, it's pretty low sample size for Mirage. Both teams played Mirage 8 times each. And AGO won 5 of the 8. I'd say they've probably played better opponents on average. Windigo won 6 of the 8. So both higher win rates. Yeah. But I'd say AGO probably edge it in that instance.
Especially when you look at the benchmark there, obviously Windigo is playing sort of a bit of a lesser tier opponent more consistently. It's more common they're going to be playing that sort of tier 2, tier 3. So that's the difference there. A go it is sort of against better opponents.
They might have played Pro League games last season on Mirage, for example, against, as you said, better opponents, right? So, in terms of map edge, it probably does go towards them. But map 2, Dust 2, they played Dust 2 against each other a month ago. Funnily enough, they played 2 best 3s against each other last month. a day after each other as well. So it was very quick, repeat opponents.
Yeah.
In that instance, AGO won 16-7.
Okay.
Which is quite convincing, if I'm honest. But looking at it on paper, 67 does sound quite bad. But Ships went from Windigo, probably one of the star players in that lineup. He went 9 for 20 there. Which you can potentially think, if he doesn't play as poorly as he did, you might think there's a 3-round like switch up there.
Yeah.
Which then says it's 13-10 if you were to switch it fully like that. So, you know, if you have players performing better from Windigo's side, you might think this is a bit of a close matchup, but on their day, it looks like AGO are the better side.
I think so. I think that is one of the sort of the key points we've seen from Windigo really more commonly, is the fact they do tend to step up and have good momentum plays. They're definitely a roster that has a lot of talent. It just depends if you actually see them stand up. I mean, the whole roster does have players that can pop off at times. They've proven that. Definitely one of the more interesting Polish squads to watch at the moment.
I mean, arguably they're the top 2 Polish side right now, because Virtus Pro, you know, they're back in MDL
fallen off
now.
the map. Yeah, it's kind of,
and as well as that, Kingwin, another side, for the Polish side, now with Taz, funnily enough, they're probably above Virtus Pro 2. So
they've actually been looking better, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a very weird situation to be in. You know, as AGO, they were like, oh, it's about time we can take that #1 Polish spot. Then Kingwin start playing well too, and you're like, but we just got rid of Virtus Pro. Yeah. So it's like, oh, what? But, you know, they haven't got any of the original big Polish names. Like, you know, none of those VP names. Like Snacks is gone now. Bialy's just left, like Virtus Pro as well. They've got, you know, Grubby's probably one of the better players. Sparrow, you know. They've got good players. Just they're not as big names when you think about Polish scene.
They are kind of always that tier 2 Polish that names that you'd expect to see. Obviously, back like when we saw the major with E-Battle, and then it was consistently going through. Right, they've been around for so long, but they've always sort of been that second team you'd look at when it comes to the Polish scene. But we are into the game now. We're going to be getting underway with this one. Windigo versus a Go.
They're playing retake on B on Mirage for 1, without a kit for 2.
Yeah.
And they've already given up sight, and they've got no kills on the entry here. This is trouble, if I'm honest. Just on the instant, this is instant trouble. I can't see this round going their way unless they land every single shot on the way in.
I mean, they must feel confident in their individual skill to actually try and bring this one back on the retake, as they're going to push their way out. Furlan gets first contact. Bubble does kill him as he boils him down.
All 5 players through L-Mark. I've never seen anything like that.
They're just bombarding in, Ben. They're all going through the choke point, but they're making it work somehow. Ships with a kill on PHR. Groovy comes through onto Victor. They've jumped straight on the bomb. They're just trying to force them out. But Bubble goes down. Sparrow will find the kill. As you'd expect, they do defend it. It was much easier for a Go to just hold their angles than it is for Windigo to open up that site. And they go down. They lose that round, so the first round will go in favor of a Go.
Yeah, I mean, just from the start of the round, I was just sat there looking. I just saw a player in market and nobody else on B, and I was like, they're going to contact B and they're playing retake with no kit.
Yeah.
This can't, you know, it's very rare, probably like 1 in 15 or something, maybe even less than that you do win that round. Just purely the fact that you're relying so much on aim, so much on the other team not having advanced positions as well. Like, they were quite unfortunate, like AGO really, that they didn't have anybody else close market. If they had 2 close market, that round was done quicker than it was just then. They've played out this anti-eco round quite slow as well. They got top mid control for free, but look how many players Windigo have dedicated towards A. It's a pretty crazy stack. The question is, though, are AGO thinking that A is the end destination here? Because it does feel like it. With 2 players outside A, you tend to favour it. You always have some sort of pre-designated, you know, thought in your mind as an IGL. I probably want to end on this side of the map. And in this instance, it does look like A. If they split this correctly, this stack would be absolutely destroyed, but it doesn't look like it's going that way.
It's actually working out very nicely for Windigo so far. The CZs and the Deagles have been coming through. Grubby with a response, though, does take down Victor at least. Puts them back into a 2v2 now. He's been majorly important to try and save this round, but he has to do it all on his lonesome now. Pushes out, Ships with a scout, will land him and take him down. That is going to go 1-1 as Windigo actually upset them. The stack paid off nicely. Good use of the CZs there.
It was a team ace as well. Every player contributing right there. The thing is, just looking at the radar during that round, you could tell it was just they were walking into a trap. Especially in that, I think the first player that peeked then from jungle, like that sort of area. As soon as he peeked there, he saw 3 different players just staring at him, and that was just instant trouble. And now they're resorting towards. It does appear to be an A strat that they have in mind here. It's on a CZ buy, so you do see this winning quite commonly as well. This does work out. The take will come in, but they are playing retake. let them play onto the site. They've got one kit in play on Punisher. There is going to be a boost at CT though. He's seen 2 players, but he hasn't actually been able to shoot up. Do they know there's a player CT though? Is the question. Because if he's able to get the drop on at least one of those players, this retake could be destroyed very quickly.
HG's going to roll in, try to do damage. Yeah. They are tagging them up, and the firepower definitely comes through as well. Victor just getting aggressive with the SMG. They're just swarming them, Ben. They know they've won this round. They know it's in their hand. Punisher's going to jump on the bomb, get the defuse. At the very least, they got the bomb down. They got the extra cash. That would be a takeaway from that one.
Yeah, I mean, you consider they got the bomb down 5 alive. As soon as you get no kills and they're playing retake there, with and when you've got CZs, you've got to be thinking, we need to make some sort of play. So, for example, that player that was close ticket, he should have been screaming for his teammates, does anybody have a flash, does anybody have a flash? If they have no flash, he has to make a play. Otherwise, the smokes will fade, he'll be visible from so many triangles, he'll die.
Yeah.
In that instance, he did die, he didn't get anything. And Punisher's been dinked mid.
Oh, it goes down.
Grubby's absolutely whacked him out of the air.
Swatted him away like a fly.
Wow. I've never seen the crouch move forward spray before.
Well, you know, it's confident, mate. It was a smart move from Blocker. Just gonna go for the old crouchy waddle.
He's one of the only players from this Windigo lineup that I've not seen before. Funnily enough, I've played against many of the Bulgarian scene very often. Like your B pros, your Mortal Kombat, that variation, right? Blocker's the only one I've never seen before.
Well, it's true, because obviously the core from this sort of at the time came from what was EFrag, dead now.
Yeah,
of course.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Money laundered.
Then it was Mortal Kombat, and that variation, which was originally Dreamer, Bubble, that sort of stuff, right?
Because Punisher was always the sub for Dreamer.
He was always the one that jumped in.
Yeah. He was the dedicated Dreamer replacement for events where Dreamer couldn't play.
Yeah. That's a good kill. He meant to actually flash that, but he's quick switched too quickly.
He just went for the headshot instead. Put a bullet through where his thoughts are processed.
Mate, try to. Didn't drop it again.
Still hasn't flashed. It's the next.
Throwing's hard.
Right, it's the advanced meta for fake flashing.
You hear the click, but it doesn't go off. So you think about turning, you turn, he's not even flashed.
He's not even flashed. Super fake flashing.
That could be a new meta, where you just have somebody sit on the corner, like say somebody sits Delpa, and you have a smoke top con, and you have a player just pull his grenade,
and then reset.
And then you run through the smoke. They'll think a flash is going off.
Freak them right out.
Yeah, advanced.
There you go.
Windigo there. Great buy. Pretty smooth round. I mean, they lost 3 players that one, but it doesn't really matter. And look at this aggression.
Oh, Punisher.
I mean, whenever I've played against them in the past, they have been so aggressive just because they know that they can beat you in those aim battles. And this just shows it. See the setup there, one player on top of the scaffolding, I suppose, the railing. It's the Kenny S jump, technically, that I'd call it normally. But after a while, though, they have to be thinking we need to give up mid, because we can't stay here. We don't have that many grenades. We can't just keep re-smoking everything. So Punisher did re-smoke that top left mid's angle. So that's guaranteed that they won't take it that way. But in about 10 seconds, they won't have any more smokes for it. So it's just a matter of time, really. So there we go. The smokes are fading. The mid-take should be coming through very soon here. You can see the players slowly closing in.
Here we go. This is going to be the play. There's the flashbang. There's the entry. The double kill. Bubble and Blocker get a kill apiece, Ben, as they stop this push. That's huge. That came through at just the right time.
Yeah, I was anticipating the setup being absolutely crunched on. And I mean, Punisher did get crunched on, but the reply was there from Windigo, right? They got the 2 kills back. And this is such a dodgy situation in the smoke.
Bubble. He gets out. He's passed. Towel doesn't realise. He's had that.
Such an awkward situation. I mean, there's a player on B. I think Vicar might have seen Swirl then. The bomb's down. 15 seconds. Blocker's got another 2 kills.
Oh.
2v1 there.
All right, here we go, Ben.
He's actually got the kills. Be sure.
Double kill. I mean, that's ridiculous from the distance. But the fact is, there's 8 seconds left on the clock. He does have the bomb, but he needs to plant it now. Blocker knows this. He's going to push it and try and get the kill before he comes off the bomb, but he's a little bit too slow. Goes for the peek, but Blocker does it. Blocks his chance of winning the round, as he will find that kill. The headshot and Towel and the defuse are going to come through. Windigo, 4 rounds picked up. You know what? We looked at this, and to be honest with you, I assume this would be more of a dominant game coming out from a go, but already Windigo, they're looking warm. They're looking ready. I mean, good plays, smart crossfires. Whenever there's a kill that comes from a go, there's an instant trade. Very, very good in the trade game so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's all stemmed off winning that force by round, really, isn't it? I mean, AGO look a bit defeated off of that.
Yeah.
And they've not been able to get themselves back into the game. I mean, Punisher's bought an MP9 here, and he's rushing up mid, but the B take is coming in very, very fast, and there's just Victor left. I think he's got the molly off, but they've put it out. The support is coming, but it's going to be a bit late. He has to fight them all.
Oh, he went for the pre-fire, yeah, gets the one, but the reset is there as he is going to be punished. It's the trade game, but Punisher runs straight in! Punisher! Oh, he's lived up to his name, Ben. He's just whopped them all out, one after another, runs into the site, windmilling with the MP9.
$1,800 as well. Fantastic. And he got an AK to pay for it further. Wow. 5-1. That round started off pretty well for AJ as well. They think about it was only the one player there. They could have taken advantage further. Unfortunately, the rotate was very, very quick. So perhaps that might be thinking in the back of their heads, that was a very quick rotate. We might be able to do some fakes later on in this game. But this mid-aggression is endless.
Oh, look at this.
I mean, Block has made this jump again. But does Punish, I was going to say, whoever's pushing on the floor there. Block is landing every shot he needs to right now.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. They're playing aggressive because they're confident with it and they know they can back it up. I mean, the aggression there, time and time again, but it works out. Normally, if you do see that push come towards mid, you start to see that T-side team slow it down, hold towards top mid for an extra few seconds into the round, see if they're going to go for the push.
Oh,
instead, they're still more than confident to just take these fights.
Yeah, I mean, consider the last time they did mid-aggression, right? So AGO let them push mid, they smoked the top, they were like, okay, fine, we'll retake it later on. This time they thought, we'll fight it. And it's gone horribly for them both times. So you start to think, do we just avoid mid? But like, mid's such a big part of the map. Like, you tend to rely on mid. If you fail at mid's control, or anything related to that part of the map, you're more than likely going to lose. And 6-1, it's not looking great for them.
It's really rough indeed. I mean, the only one that's actually found frags, with 8 kills to his name, is Groovy.
And he got 3 of them on the pistol.
Yeah. That's the point, right? I mean, if you take those away from him, he's pretty close there to his fellow teammates. And 4 frags and Taul, it's not going well for him at all. For the entire squad, it's...
The force buys in as well. This is like the rough territory. Sparrow's he got an AK Kevlar. It's not great. This is where you start seeing a lot more poke plays. And the mid-aggression is endless. It just keeps coming. Again.
So Ships gets dinked, he's brought down to 61, but he's still confident to go for the peaks out from Ticket Booth, gets that further frag, leaves them into the 4-on-3. The marksmanship skills need to be displayed now. Bubble wants to cut them down and prove how effective he can be. An artist with the AK, but is he going to slate the day? Panics as the push comes round. That's another kill. The main man we spoke about on a go is the deciding factor.
Oh,
a bad miss from Ships and he's railed down Furlan through the wall. And it's all up to Victor then. A 1-on-3, but he tries to make it work. That's the double kill. Leaves it in a 1-on-1, but he's so low. 20 HP. The peak comes round, and he goes down. A hat-trick of frags found. 11 kills to his name now. Huge play coming through.
And that round was simply won because of one player popping off. So that was the same as Pistol. He got 3 kills, he got 3 kills again. They win the round. It's not a reliable thing when you go as a team to have somebody, the only way you win a round is by him getting 3 kills. You just can't think that way. Something's got to change for them, and they just can't keep relying on a player like this.
Well, that's the worrying fact, right? Is obviously you can't do that. It's not repeatable. It's not something that's actually going to come through all the time. It's only going to align at certain times. And from what we've seen from overall map control from Windigo, they've proven that they've got a very firm grasp on this game. Towards mid, they're more than confident to go for countless pushes, even though a go should be expecting at this point. They're still able to overpower them. So even in a counterable play, they're just getting the better of them when it comes down to the firefights.
Yeah, it's very bizarre. And you can see, even though AGO won that round, they've got 2 players who've bought Mac 10s because of how poor the money was. They needed those grenades, apparently. And they have used them quite quickly. And the mid-aggression is still coming through. They just know they can't challenge this. We win every time we do it.
They're just happy to take the fight.
But look how quick this underpass pushes. There's nobody actually covering his back this time. No, Punisher normally just sits in the middle of mid, and he has been spotted there. Punisher should be turned. It's just the one player. It's all a distraction play. Furlan's going in towards B, but the A take is coming through. And somehow the Mac 10s, Allen's got kills.
Ships walks through the smoke, already pre-firing away with an AWP somehow, as he's going to find that kill, tries to stay alive, but I mean, we're into a 2-on-2 now, as the kill with Furlan actually happens over on the B site. Now,
he spotted him.
Oh, he sees.
That should be, surely he doesn't need to throw this flash. No way did he see. Ships has got a Molotov. If you really need to, just molly him out. And they know the last player was towards B. And Furlan's so low, this shouldn't be attainable.
No, this should basically be the round over at this point. Furlan, 17 HP. He's found 2 frags, but he needs to do more as he will be heading over towards the A site. Ships and Bubble are the last 2 remaining CTs. The bomb is down, but you struggle really to pick it up. They're going to have eyes on it as they just play safe for the meantime. 35 seconds left on the clock here for Furlan.
Consider how well this round started off, technically. They sold the fake mid and B. They got a kill on each player. And suddenly it's 1v2 Furlan. 17 HP, 20 seconds. He has gathered the bomb, but both players... There's the info. He's trying to run back to B, weirdly. I don't think he had time to actually make that full run.
I think he might have just been panicked there, really, at that point. Could have been the play, but...
And the money's down to nothing again.
Yeah.
They have to force buy. It's not a great situation to be in. Windigo got complete control, and it's been very quick rounds every time as well. It's not been like they've played a slow round once on the T side. Even when they waited for the mid control, they still did it quite early. Another A strat's going to come through. Question is, will Windigo actually play retake this time, or will they battle it?
Ooh.
That's so unusual. Like, why would you push through that smoke when your team's doing an A strat?
I don't know.
It's so weird. Like, the A strat's now going to come in, but now he's going to play in front of the smoke again. If that Molotov had landed, this round might be completely whitewash. But it looks like it's going to be anyway.
I mean, it's an unorthodox play, and it didn't really help them at all. It just kind of set them up into finding out what was going to happen into this round. Bubble's going to go for the push behind.
Should be a free kill if they wait long enough.
Doesn't even need to. Yeah.
Surprising. But I just don't understand that, though. Why would you ever push through the ramp smoke before the smokes are thrown with no flash, just because you think maybe nobody's watching it? As soon as you do that, you've just given away a free kill for nothing. You've got a CZ. You're not going to actually make much happen from that.
You're not going to get the kill. You're not going to get any info. And not only that as well, they then realised, all right, it's just a push. It's an A push.
This should be lands to the slaughter here at mid, assuming the player in win does land everything. Although if they get Molotovs behind the boxes, they'll get pushed out.
Yeah. I mean, this is just standard, right? They go towards mid, very easy picks. Punisher and Blocker just going to land the shots you expect to see coming through. The last man left standing.
Scoped on this, I think, isn't he?
Yeah, goes over to B. As soon as he gets there, Victor kills him, as you said, just had the angle and knockdown, expected it. And this has been a very quick game.
9-2, and it's probably been like, what, 16
15 minutes?
Yeah, something like that. It hasn't been long at all. The longest round we probably saw might have been the pistol, purely because of they waited a sec for the smokes to fade. There's an awful lot of pink crowns in CT spawn.
I know, they've been spraying them everywhere.
Make your mark, I suppose. So the AGO go for another buy round. Not a great one again. You got to be thinking, when do they change? So this time they faked that mid control. They did the smoke, but they've not taken it. But look how cautious AGO are. They're not even pushing out mid smoke. They're waiting for it to fade. They don't know what to do. And Victor's not holding the typical angle in B-Apps that he was holding actually the run out angle rather than the pixel. So I imagine Asia we're thinking we need to take mid control off them. If we don't do this, we've probably lost the game regardless.
Yeah.
Right? So they send a player underpass. They're going to have a player possibly re-smoke mid or flash over mid. So there we go. The window smoke comes in. Top connector smoke comes in. And look how much they've had to spend just to get mid control back.
But they've got info here already as well. Windigo know what's going on because Ships has already gone for the push-up. He's got close on ramp with the AWP. They've had Bubble playing so close, Punisher playing so close towards apartments that he's been able to get that read. They're now going to push out deep as well and be able to work out that it's clear. There will be the full rotate over towards that B site. This is where it comes in so important on Victor. He has to be
he needs to land
major
this
set
shot.
piece.
If he lands the first kill, he's probably got backup in time.
But the rotate's already coming through. Bubbles there, yeah.
Yeah. So there we go. That's 2 players towards B. 30 seconds of the clock. Not many flashes, and Bubble's about to flash it just to have a look with a jump spot here. And that'll be the perfect time. He'll see players coming in. The call comes through. This should be a clean sweep for them again. That's the bomb already seen. And Victor's killing players everywhere.
Oh, if we would have got the adjustment on that one, it could have been beautiful. Bubble didn't realise there was a player already out through window, so he gets side railed down. His teammate then falls, but the backstab Punisher denies it. That's it. That's done. Run away.
Wow. Just when AGO think the round has gone much better for them, the bomber gets killed in the back. Yeah. Nobody covering it. 10-2. They did get both AWPs. So that is some kind of positive. But how much? What are you going to do with those?
That's the thing. In a the grand scheme of things, right?
You need rounds as well.
Yeah, and especially when the AWPs are your only weapons, really, for what you've got in this arsenal. A couple of AKs thrown in there, but a double AWP setup. you've got about 30 seconds there really to try and get an early pick with that AWP to open up a round. The longer you've got it, the less influential it's going to be of a weapon. And you can see that. They already try and find those early picks. They find nothing from it. Go in a late round situation, they're trying to hold a site with these. It's going to be awkward for them. It's not going to be great.
Unless they get, as you said, they need to get a kill with both orbs on the entry.
You have to get those early picks.
And then they have to be able to hold from that. Victor's position here in B-Ups is quite huge as well, because if Punisher's got his smoke ready to re-smoke it, so that'll come in here. And I think he's missed it.
Yeah, a little bit.
Although Victor, he probably shouldn't be too bothered about that.
I mean, if he's holding from where he is now, it's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah. It's just in an ideal world that smoke does go through fully. So smoke top connector comes in. That nade should be pretty good though. 40 damage, solid. The question is, will Windigo try and get info on one of these sides of the map? Victor should be pushing forward here, and he is. So that info will come through, then Punisher will be able to rotate off, and we should have 4 players towards this A side of the map. But the question is, will Ship spot towards connector in time here? Because one player's already died at stairs. He needs to have a look. That's a huge kill.
That's big from Blocker, but he needs to get more, and he's about to be swarmed, Ben. They're going to push in. The adjustment doesn't work out well for him, but there is a trade kill, however. Ship's back over at the Furlan. He's still alive, and they're just trading one by one. Victor peeks out, but it's up the Ships, and he will close it down as another round secured there for Windigo. And he's trying to break their mental as well. Going to shoot into the corpses a little bit.
11-2. I mean, you can't help but feel like you expect more from them, right? AGO.
I'd agree with you. However,
Windigo have played well.
Yeah.
They have done the correct moves when needed.
That's the thing. They're looking like a good squad. Although they're playing very aggressive CS, and they're winning in such a commanding way.
It's that Vegas squadron style of play, though, isn't it? It's the aggression when you don't expect it. And speaking of aggression, AGO going for a fast palace burst. And it's catching them by surprise, but Bubble lands the first 2 kills. But there's a player under. They haven't seen him.
Oh no. Blocker this entire time stays alive. 2 critical frags are found. It's only Towel that's left. He grabs the AWP there, Ben. Maybe this is an opening piece. No, he's dead. He is going to just hit the deck. He goes down. That's 14 rounds now played out. It is a 12-2 scoreline as we get to match point, to halfway here through the game, as we get to round 15, I've forgotten how to speak, as we are going to see where this one goes. I mean, most likely it's looking like this is now going to be a 13-2 half. At that point, I'd go dead in the water. And it would also just be ridiculous. If they win pistol,
Flocker's landed that jump again. He should be able to get 3 kills here.
Yeah.
He's holding that Freiburg spray.
Oh, the spray
He's done so much damage as well. It is a 3v3. So it's not the worst situation to be in. Right, so 3v3, one player's on 8 HP. You may as well consider him a bait tool at this point. But Grubby, a bit of an interesting push. But whilst that was happening, Ships has got info towards Palace. He'll hear that Molotov being thrown. But instead of going for the potentially catching Grubby in the back, he's actually going to move further up. So this is quite a bit of an interesting way of doing things. And because of how low he was, he's able to just flick one bullet towards him. And I'm surprised he was looking towards him. And that Ships took the fight. That's so bizarre.
They were both ready for that, and the one that you expected to lose the fight comes out on top of the deagle, just wrecks him. And at that point, it's just PHR that remains in a 1-on-3 to decide if they're actually going to get themselves an additional round here at the half, or if this is going to be a 13-2. A 13-2 that could pretty much set them up for their loss. There's no real way you're going to come back from that, especially not from what we've seen from going into this matchup. It does not look like they're ripe or ready for this one, but PHR, left in the 1v3, slowly makes his approach. He skulks his way over towards the B site and tries to slip his way in.
I think if he goes to the plant here, as soon as he goes for it, Victor might just run straight at him to try and get the kill. Just to anticipate the 1v2. Doesn't look at it. If he was planted anywhere closer, he probably would have gone straight for the kill.
He could get backstabbed by Punisher in about 4 seconds if he's not careful here.
It's all about timing. Like, PHR needs to make a play, which is why they're so cautious. So he gets that first kill. They do know roughly where he is. But this timing, Ship's going to give him back. Yeah. That was very unfortunate for him. I mean, he got 3 kills in that round as well, PHR. Tried his very best. But 13-2. AGO won the pistol. Yeah, you got to be thinking, you've had 1 round that's technically considered a bye round.
Yeah.
And both rounds they won, it was required through Grubby getting 3 kills both times.
So, funnily enough, I put a tweet out, obviously we spoke about it. The fact that the second map of both games we saw today on Pro League, for the first 2 games that have been played, which is Hellraisers and Big, and Space Soldiers and Nip, those both 16-2s. This is a 13-2. If they win Pistol,
we're looking at another 16-2. It's unusual, just because you don't expect to see one-sided affairs like this at this level. But then whenever I see a scoreline of about less than 16-4, I just automatically think that something has gone majorly wrong for the team that lost.
Yeah.
And that it probably won't happen again. Just because it's such an unusual thing. The chance that it won't happen. Unless it's a map like Nuke, your heavily one-sided maps. I just don't see it happening. A map like Mirage as well, it's not a one-sided map. You can, some days you'll say it's T-side because of how well they play it. Some days you'll say CT. But Windigo, they deserve this lead. Like, as much as we talk about AGO being a Pro League team, Windigo have played phenomenal. So
that's the thing, right? What we sort of alluded to is the fact that we expected to go to actually come in here and look like the better side, because in theory they should be.
Yep.
But on paper, Windigo have actually been looking very good, and that level of aggression, although it is unorthodox and it's a different style of CS, it's not as common as you said. It's like a team like Vegas Squadron.
It's your CIS teams play like this.
It catches you off guard because it is a little bit interesting. It's newer in terms of the meta, really, in how often you see it. It's thick and far between. Windigo, they can definitely bring it to the table. Bulgarian players are very effective with their aim. That's something they've always had, right? When you look at them, they're very good aimers, and they like to play an aggressive style of CS. That blended into an entire team working in that fashion, it works great for them.
Especially when you think they've got the methodical play behind it, right? So that those mid pushes, they were backed up by good flashbang use, good smoke use, everything. And as well as that, it was good team play. You consider when Punisher got squashed from mid, top mid, and bottom mid, the players were there to trade that instantly. Yeah, and they turned a situation which would normally go against them into a position for them.
Because that's sort of what I was saying, the first few rounds of the game, you could see the trades were so good for Windigo, whereas for a Go, they were left in situations where it was 1vx's, because they physically weren't able to get those the counter picks back. So although someone would get about 3 kills and start making it look like, oh, this could be a clutch round, it's the fact that you're putting so much weight on one person's shoulders, and those rounds are going to come now and then. They're not going to happen all the time, and half the time you're not even going to win them. You know what I mean? If you get the first 3 frags into a round, put yourself in a 1-on-2 with a bomb, at that point you've already done way more than you should. You're going to be low on HP, you're going to have no utility, you're not expected to win those, and that's what we saw. But we are ready to carry on now with the second half. Windigo, if they win this pistol, I think this could be another 16-2 to carry on the chain of 16-2s we've seen today in Day 1 of Pro League Season 8.
So again, a CT side starting off the pistol with no kit, but we're seeing 3 men go aggressive towards ramp. They see nobody close, and it looks like they might fully walk off here, but seems to be tempting fate. It seems like there's a conversation between them all there.
Let's have a little chat. An existence round.
The classic existence round on the pistol. It's an interesting one. Interesting time to take a talk.
Have a slowdown. Right, boys.
But it looks like Windigo doing the same. Nice little conversation. Potentially a tech pause here.
Yeah, it seems like they might have run into an issue. Doesn't look like they're...
Yeah, this does look like a tech issue.
If they're having that much of a bounce, there's got to be something going on. Bouncing by the
At least we didn't try and cast like the 40 seconds here. Thinking, they look like they're having another team talk as well. That's crazy. Both teams having team talks.
Everyone's bunny hopping, Ben. My goodness. They think they're playing surf.
Yeah, there was an incident with that with Anders and Moses. Anders casted about 30 seconds of a tech pause because he saw like teams rotating really awkward, and he was like, "Oh no, I can't believe they're rotating like this." And Moses was like, "It does look like it might be a tech pause, a technical pause."
I don't know if it's actually live.
Oh. Normally you don't see deaths occur in the tech pause.
I know, a bit aggro.
Sparrow's had enough, he's looking for blood.
He's just tilted, he's had enough of blocker. But that's the scary point as well. Something we sort of spoke about a little bit at the start here is the fact that Go were already into their 3rd map of a series versus Sprout.
And they've just lost a map.
Yeah, that's the point, right? They've just lost 1 map versus Sprout. If they lose this, that's now 2 maps in a row they're going to lose. If they were to have a terrible day and actually lose both of these matchups against Windigo, and then have to go back and play Sprout, that would be you've won 1 map, lost 3 in a row, and then have to play the 3rd and final map of a series versus Sprout.
Yeah.
That's rough.
In a qualifier for Chicago as well. It's not exactly like it's a random online game. It's
something they would like to win. That's a big deal. So,
very peculiar.
awkward scheduling.
Not a good situation to be in, especially with, this is one of the games that they will look back on at the start of the season, or at the end of the season, sorry, and think, we should probably be beating those sides. Especially with how brutal, Pro League is now. I mean, a few seasons ago, the team that finished bottom wouldn't get automatically demoted. Now they do.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing, it's rough these days. You've got that automatic relegation spot, you've got the fact that there is a slim chance you can try and keep yourself alive and fight for survival.
There's difficult teams in the relegations, to be fair.
And this is the thing, like, the MDL teams now are a lot better and a lot more stacked than they were a couple of years ago.
Yeah. It's a really awkward situation, but it looks like we're getting the match medic. You see players respawning. There's 6 players in T-spawn there.
Yeah, who's that?
Toho. That's the coach.
Oh, it's the coach.
How's he managed to get alive?
Right,
what's he done?
We've given Windigo an extra edge.
There's a Glock on the floor. How did he manage to spawn?
I don't know, he's just jumped in for the game. Oh, there we go. He's dealt with it.
I like how he disappeared for a second.
That was
he vanished with one Glock, but then he managed to respawn and die somewhere else as well.
With another Glock.
In the same round.
He is a bit of a magician.
Same thing happened in CT. Look at that. It's USP on the floor and there's another dead body.
Well, the thing is, that's how I get motivated. Watching my coach's lifeless body in spawn gets me pumped for a round.
Spit on it on the way through. Just walk through.
Oh, the coach walk-in. Right in the eye.
It does look like the scoreline's technically broken a bit as well, but 13-2 for those who are not sure.
Yeah. They haven't been
So in the
gifted
previous
a secret
situation here, we
round.
saw 3 players go aggressive ramp, which the same thing is happening again. But Windigo last time, they had a player in Palace and a player outside ramp. This is completely different now. They did originally have Punisher by grenades. This is different to what they did before the tech. They're just going to burst B with flashes here.
Straight out, through the window, diving in. Oh, Victor!
I was going to say it was him blind, but it wasn't.
Yeah, he glides into action, but Tao's just able to pop everyone, Ben. That's 3 frags found in rapid succession. Looks for another one, which he'll get. That's a 4K, and that is the opening round for
Both pistols won.
Yeah. Well, at least they've got that. At least they got the pistols. And they do save themselves from a 16-2.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, but that just adds another round to the books of 3K or more from a player to win a round.
Yeah, one person has to go huge.
And the Silence MP5 comes out. We haven't seen that yet.
Oh, here we go. I love this. This is a bit that I enjoy. I like seeing how many players are going to use it. Yeah. So far, statistically, I think Danish players use it by far the most.
I've seen a lot of Danes using it, and there was Finns using it as well, isn't there?
Yeah. It seems to be people that have somewhat been around from Source.
Yeah.
Love it.
Oh, that nade has done so much damage. It should be round over, really. Bubble last alive. He's got a weird amount of money invested into this round. I mean, a Molotov and a HE. It sounds like they were going to do... What they might have been trying to do was a plant towards A and him go lurk short with HE and Molly with his deagle. I like it in theory, but I don't think you're going to get a plant very often.
No.
Without any smokes on it. So 13-4. AGO do convert that one. So none of that tomfoolery we saw in the first half. Nice little run boost. And this should be 13-5 here as well. Assuming nothing crazy happens with the Glocks.
What's that setup looking like towards mid here as well for a
Both
go?
in window facing it, I think, aren't they?
It seems like they are going for the full peak. And they're coming under. You've got the 2 players under bars. Okay, so we've got Sparrow just going for the face. Support there as well from Furlan with a Famous. He's just jump spotting. Oh, but they draw the attention off in the nick of time. So they've actually been able to get out through underpass. They jump up for the face, but PHR's there as well. It's a whole convergence that comes through, and they survive. 20 HP on Sparrow and 4 HP on Furlan. So luckily they actually do keep onto those weapons. No rebuys, no casualties. A go. They've got themselves into a good spot. This is where actually they could try and start to turn the game around, but it needs to happen now. Sparrow on the AWP is a good sight for sore eyes. That is definitely a weapon we want in that man's hands.
Yeah, and the MP5 didn't actually get used. So it did get bought, just not a single bullet.
We got 1 kill with it in the prior round.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
I thought it was an M4.
No, it's the MP5, the final kill.
Yeah, the final kill. Oh. Yeah, so quite sad. Not as much use as we would have liked to see. And AGO are trying to do their own version of the mid-take. It doesn't look as fluid as the, or fluid rather, as the previous.
Yeah. Actually, doesn't really help them out much at all. That's just
they used a lot of
big waste of nades,
But Windigo weren't even there to be like, oh, they're using all this, by the way. But there's a one-way smoking car mode. The kill comes through. No trade available.
Ship space that just has to dip.
And Sparrow, you mentioned the AWP. Does get the first kill, and he's only mortals out, and he doesn't even get punished for it.
Oh.
And all 5 others stay alive in a buy round.
That's much better. And that was really nice by Furlan as well. 3 kills for him, good defense to the A side. You've got Sparrow on the AWP. The things that are going to need to actually succeed are now in their favor, right? We've seen them struggle a lot, and that was because the rounds, even though they're getting that constant loss bonus, you're not able to get those very expensive buys out. They can't go for the more ludicrous plays they wanted to. Furlan does get stabbed by someone, but, you know, building confidence, little tap on the bum. Could help. Yeah. Could help.
Motivational. So there's a single smoke purchased here by Victor. So I wonder when that'll actually be coming through. Or rather, where it'll be coming through. It might be just a window smoke, maybe. But yeah, that must be it. So that's the only investment grenade-wise, which means they can boost the player in. But how much are you actually going to get out of that? So he'll be able to tell there's nobody in this part of it. He'll see ladder.
Ooh.
And Bubble, he's wanted him all the way to Ticket from Connector. Hell of a shot.
He sent him all the way back to 2nd grade, mate.
Ooh. That nade has done a lot of damage.
Yeah, he does header it. It's taking a lot of damage to the forehead.
So, I mean, they've got the opening kill this round. But because, like I mentioned, there was only 1 grenade ball, they haven't really got much else to do other than try and look for another pick. I mean, it's not very often you'll get the pick either. So there is a gap in the defense, though, with this move here. It means that they could potentially split that B site. But I imagine Ships doesn't really want to be the initiator on that switch here.
No.
He doesn't really want to be the one to actually push out and try and get, like, force the situation. He wants to get the rotate.
Because he's just holding right now.
He needs the B players to get the kills here.
Ooh. First contact.
Start.
No, it's gone completely wrong. Taul with 3
Chips
frags.
did get that rotate kill.
So he gets the kill that he needed. Goes in for more. All right.
He'll save the AWP. 10 seconds left. He's got armor. He can save that.
This doesn't work out too badly. He's been able to get the AWP. He can get away. Time will tick down. No one's going to push him. They're not going to be that silly. So they will actually concede that one, allow it to go through. That was a good round for a go. They lost 2 players at the end there. A little bit unfortunate for them as Ships was able to make it a lot costlier than it needed to be. And here comes the pause. I'd feel like at this point it could be a pause for Windigo because they are going to have the buy coming out, so they'd want to talk about what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, the interesting bit about that though is just so Ships. I portrayed it perfectly. He was definitely going for the rotate kill, but the B players, there wasn't even like any jumping across like the windows or anything. They just ran across and just got mowed down.
Just sprint out, yeah.
Peculiar. But Windigo though, so the first buy round, they didn't even get a single kill out of it.
No.
The following rounds, they've managed to get a kill here and there with it, which was a bit better, but it's not great again. I'm surprised to see, though, that Bubble's taken the AWP here. Because Ships was AWPing primarily in that first half.
And he was looking good with it as well.
Yeah, he was doing really well with it.
He could just be going for a fast pick, actually, though.
Potentially, yeah. He had that palace spawn, didn't he?
He has got a good spawn for it. But no.
It's interesting to take... Oh, he did... No, he's
set himself
up
up on the... Yeah, he's just going for a smoke. So he's taken the AWP. He had the good spawn.
Okay, he might be sticking with it then. Okay.
Let's see what he does.
Unusual, I guess. But with the 8-8 coming in here... Actually, they're boosting? Is that a lineup for a smoke? Or is it a Molotov? I think it's a Molotov, like balcony or something.
I feel like I'm watching like a Transformers movie with the music in the background. It's building up tension.
He's blocked the smoke that was landing towards jungle. So that's gone very well for them. Look at that gap behind that smoke. That was a molly triple that they did, actually. It was a lovely boost.
That was good. Sparrow actually dies because of it as well, because Blocker was able to go for the frag, Put him into an awkward position. Bubble needs to defend his teammate now as the bomb goes down. So despite
that smoke being blocked and that huge gap being there, they were not able to take advantage of it because of those flashes. I'm surprised they didn't take the risk.
It's very nice.
And look at the rotate coming in from Ships here. The Mighty Max rotation, as we like to call it.
Yeah, the full rotate around, clear vision on the bomb from short. Suspects that there could be players here as well, so he slows down. Actually might get a couple of frags on the players from behind.
Players in the side here.
This should be easy for him as he starts to punish. There you have it, 2 kills.
He doesn't need to force anything else.
No, he could just chill at this point. His teammates can do the rest. There's no way they can jump on the bomb. Tao's the last man left. He wants to save the AWP, but he won't, Ben. Ships should surely find this.
He's low enough, I don't think he can live. Like, he gets towards the tank, he takes another 5 damage, I think. Yeah, he need another 5 damage to die. And Ships, very good round from him. Perfect rotate, perfect timing, if anything, as well.
That's the thing, it was calculated. There wasn't actually over-aggression. He knew which fights to go for and when to just calm down and go, all right, I've got that first kill, I've got the second kill, I'm just going to rotate fully.
First round on the board for them on that T side though, 14-7. The money on CT side is not great, purely because Ships got those 2 kills on the exit last round as well. But they did invest 2 orbs though. So that seems to be like the saving grace here. They need to get those 2 orbs to be big impact players this round. And it looks like they split one in B apps. He's playing quite aggressive with that as well. And the other one in jungle. You can see Sparrow just having a walk around. Looks like they're faking the B push here though, and it's actually pulling players away. He's got one of the A rotate kills, and he knows where the other one is. Furlan got both of them!
Oh, ferocity on display from Furlan there as he's able to double down and execute them. Punisher, however, will set PHR up on a date with the Coroner, and it just comes down to Taul and Sparrow, both of them with orbs.
And B side's clear though. You could see there was a potential call for Blocker to actually rotate, but instead they're trying to allow Ships to walk the whole way. He might be able to catch a rotate off on the way through here.
He has been the backstab king.
So far, yeah. On this T side especially. The issue is, if he peeks into this, I see him dying.
Yeah.
But if he holds the angle here, I think he was about to look away.
That's rough. So takes
the timing's really awkward now, though, because AGO, they won't see the players in the site until another 10 seconds or so.
They're actually going 1 to a site as well. Sparrow's rotating back off.
That's quite unusual. They smoked window by mistake there, I think, as well. That's quite unfortunate.
They've literally helped them out.
So the plant should come through in a second. Does look like he's going to plant towards short side, and that's a good shot. But Blocker actually didn't commit to the plant. 1v1, 1v2. Oh, 19 health.
Blocker just with the AK.
And he takes it.
Goes for the face, Ben. Does it? Doesn't even need to plant the bomb. He'll just win off the back of his individual skill. A little Glock burst into the head as well to prove his point. Wow. The brutality coming out. 24 frags to his name. Him and Ships have been standout players. Absolutely knocking it out of the park.
You consider the previous matchup. I mentioned Ships was 9 for 20 in that one, and AGO won that 16-7.
That's
Ships has 24 kills now, and
Yeah.
they're potentially looking at a 16-7 victory themselves.
That's what's
It's quite a crazy contrast. And like I mentioned, the money not great on AGO's side. They've got an open M4 and then 3 CZs.
Yeah, not what you want walking into what could very well be the final round here, as they are struggling. 5 on 5, a minute and 25 seconds left on the clock as this one slowly develops. Mid-control has always been a constant point of aggression between these two teams. Ships gets hit on the head by a nade. We'll tap him on the noggin.
He peeked that smoke just before he peeked. That's so unfortunate. Ships, he saw the little head, I think, but then pulled back. But because of that, though, they've used so many grenades towards mid-AGO, they kind of have to let it go. They're being forced off every angle that they could potentially peek here. The smoked off, connector, mollied off short, mollied window. It's a horrible situation to be in. You slowly get drowned out of the server, but Furlan's potentially fighting the cause here. 1 kill back already.
Blocker tries to make his move in towards B.
He
The
made a
player
step
that's
then.
there is Taul, yeah, and he would have heard that. A falter. A bit of an issue he's made by stepping around. Could be a bit of an elephant in the room as they will start to punish. They get both of the frags, however, and for a go, they're going down 1 by 1 as they're going to be going out of this match and losing to Windigo, surely. Grubby and PHR, the last 2 men left alive. PHR will punish Punisher as he comes through with the AWP, leaving it in a 2-on-3, but they're still outnumbered. And once again, Ships is sailing in from the rear, ready to try and shut them down, Ben, as the pirate ship he is. Going to hit him with a cannonball as he starts to arrive over. There's the kill, and that is the game, as the high seas have overwashed their opponents. That's the win for Windigo, and Ago have lost out on their first matchup there. So a back-to-back loss for them, including their game versus Sprout. Not looking too fantastic.
Yeah, not a good start for them. I mean, technically it was a good start. Win the pistol, and then it was just completely downhill from there.
Yeah.
They couldn't even convert that round. A 13-2 half. I mean, the safety net is they did start winning some rounds in that second half, right? There is another map to play. There's still another 3 points available. So hopefully they're able to pull that back, just because, in my mind, Windigo would be one of the teams to finish in that bottom half of the league at the end of the season. So ideally, you don't want to drop all 6 points to them, just because you don't want to have not got any points potentially from a team in that half. So, I mean, consider that, there wasn't much going for them in the first half. Next map should be a better showing for them. Otherwise, It's not looking good.
No, I'd say it's a pretty rough affair, looking very rough around the edges. It's just been a hard matchup, and Windigo absolutely manhandled them. They had a complete grasp on how to counter it, when to go aggressive, when to try and slow down the pace ever so slightly, but the majority of that time it was them just sprinting in, taking the firefights and winning them round in, round out. It was not great at all for a Go Ben. They need to switch things up and revitalize themselves going into that second map.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, in the previous matchup, AGO did win on Dust 2. So that is something they can think about, potentially, if they want to think about previous matchups. But at the end of the day, they got to do better.
Well, they have to do better. Can they do better in our second map? That is the question. We'll find out. For the meantime, enjoy the highlights, and we'll be back in with Windigo versus a Go with their second map.